Dr. Dolittle's Travels. Part 1. In a small town called Puddleby, there lived Dr. John Dolittle, a man who loved animals and cared for them deeply. He was known among the townsfolk for always wearing a tall hat and a long coat. Despite his medical talent, his sister Sarah was worried about the animals living with them, which were causing distress to his human patients. Over time, the number of animals in their home increased, leading to a decline in the number of patients. Eventually, he was left with only one patient, the butcher, who visited the doctor once a year. While Sarah stressed the importance of money and reputation, Dr. Dolittle remained loyal to his love for animals, preferring them over wealth. The number of animals he brought home continued to grow. As time passed, Dr. Dolittle found himself selling his possessions to provide for the animals. His financial situation worsened, but he did not lose his happiness, as children and dogs continued to chase him in the streets. Dr. Dolittle remained cheerful and beloved despite his poverty. He lived a life filled with love and care for animals, allowing him to rise above concerns about money and patience. Sarah, despite her anger, acknowledged Dr. Dolittle's bond with the animals and his positive impact on the children in the town. One day, the butcher visited Dr. Dolittle and noticed that his coat was full of patches, indicating his poverty. While inspecting the kitchen, he saw the happy, thriving animals and came up with a brilliant idea. Why not turn Dr. Dolittle into a veterinarian instead of treating humans? The butcher believed that Dr. Dolittle knew a lot about animals and seemed more at ease with them. After leaving, Polly, the parrot, encouraged Dr. Dolittle to accept this idea, saying that animals needed him. Despite his initial hesitation, Polly supported him, convincing him that he had the skills to be a great veterinarian and telling him about animals' abilities to communicate in their own languages. Dr. Dolittle began to learn from Polly about bird language and how animals used their bodies to communicate. He managed to understand some signals from the animals, such as the movements of dogs' ears and paws. Over time, Dr. Dolittle gained more confidence in his understanding of animal language and began using his newfound knowledge to communicate with and treat them. He eventually decided to follow the butcher's advice and became a veterinarian. Once Dr. Dolittle became a veterinarian, he helped the butcher inform everyone that he treated animals, which brought him many customers. Ladies flocked to his clinic with their dogs, farmers brought their sick cows and sheep, and children brought their cats. One day, a plow horse visited Dr. Dolittle, expressing his real problem. The plow horse had suffered from a previous veterinarian who did not understand his condition, as he needed glasses due to poor eyesight. Dr. Dolittle successfully made special glasses for him, making the horse very happy. After Dr. Dolittle's success with the horse, other animals began visiting the clinic. Soon, it became common for horses to wear glasses, and stories circulated about Dr. Dolittle's achievements, like dogs wearing splints and a cat using a cane. Dr. Dolittle's successes became well known among the animals. Wild animals heard about Dr. Dolittle too, leading him to welcome new animals from the forests. As the number of visitors increased, Dr. Dolittle began to organize the lines effectively, putting up signs to guide animals to the appropriate doors for each type. Dr. Dolittle's life continued as a successful veterinarian for many years. Animals flocked from everywhere, and he became happy with his life. Dr. Dolittle helped animals with great dedication, continuing to learn about their languages and needs. One day, Polly laughed at the behavior of humans. She remarked on how they couldn't understand animal language properly, considering that a dog wagging its tail means happiness is merely a superficial understanding. She pointed out that humans had beliefs about being the best, despite their inability to do what animals can. Dr. Dolittle and his sister Sarah were happy about their increased income after Dr. Dolittle became a veterinarian, allowing Sarah to buy a new dress. However, having many animals in the house frustrated her, especially with the difficulty of keeping the place clean. Over time, some pets required longer care, increasing the number of animals in the house. On one occasion, Dr. Dolittle rescued a monkey named Chi-Chi from a street performer, which added to the overcrowding problems at home. Later, a sick crocodile came seeking help. Despite Dr. Dolittle treating him, the crocodile's presence in the house instilled fear in customers, adversely affecting his practice. Sarah, worried about the crocodile, asked Dr. Dolittle to choose between it and her, prompting her to leave home and start a new life elsewhere. This increased Dr. Dolittle's suffering. After Sarah's departure, he and his animals faced a difficult financial situation. The animals shut themselves in, trying to manage things. Chi-Chi took on cooking responsibilities, Tutu managed the finances, Dab-Dab handled cleaning, while Jeb-Jeb assisted in gardening. Despite their efforts, the financial situation did not improve. The animals decided to sell vegetables from Dr. Dolittle's garden at a small stall by the roadside. But, despite their efforts, things remained tough. Dr. Dolittle tried to calm Polly, who was worried about not having enough money to meet their needs. Then winter arrived early, leading to the depletion of vegetables in the garden. Although they had a nice heater, the animals felt hungry and feared a long, cold winter. On a cold winter night, as the animals gathered around the fireplace with Dr. Dolittle, who was reading them stories, suddenly Tutu entered and warned everyone of a noise outside. Chi-Chi appeared and informed them of an urgent message from his relatives in Africa, where monkeys were suffering from a serious illness and needed help. Dr. Dolittle consulted the animals about how to travel to Africa, but they faced a financial issue in purchasing tickets. Chi-Chi climbed up and brought the piggy bank, but they found it empty. Dr. Dolittle decided to rent a boat from a local fisherman known for his good reputation, and indeed, the fisherman agreed to lend him the boat for free, grateful for Dr. Dolittle's past help to his son. Polly displayed her maritime expertise and began preparing a list of things they would need, such as food and water. But the financial problem persisted. However, the butcher came to their rescue, providing all the supplies they needed without requiring payment now, encouraging Dr. Dolittle to focus on his journey. Dr. Dolittle bid farewell to the remaining animals at home, and everyone prepared to leave. Before they departed, Dr. Dolittle realized he didn't know the way to Africa, but the little bird volunteered to lead him, assuring him that she knew the route. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications by pressing the bell button. Thank you for watching. See you in the part 2.